And boys, we're fucking back. Football bloody hell is back after what has been a 7 week layoff for us. And it's an absolute pleasure to have Carl Levy back again. And Livy's resident PC. How are we, boys?
Yeah, we're good.
Not bad, man, not bad.
Good to have you back, Paul. You're on for your hat trick.
Yeah, certainly am. Third time.
Yeah.
You got a pint for that on Sunday, son.
Sounds good, mate. Sounds good. Sounds excellent, actually.
Right. Suppose I better address why we've not been on for the last sort of 2-3 months. I've just been going through fucking mental health baller. Run down as fuck. It's not been great, Paul. You've seen me quite a few times. I've not been in the greatest headspaces. But hopefully with a bit of perseverance and a bit of positive thinking, we can do this every Tuesday, Wednesday on the way to, get more guests on. Going to try and work on a new layout and that, which I spoke to you about, Carl. So, get a new layout, get more guests on, and, hopefully get someone to come and sponsor us so we can go into a studio and do this sort of shit.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt about that. It's what I've been missed the most. I've been away for quite a while, and with when I know about your situation, Andrew, and when you told me about it, and I knew it was tough for you. I was roughly the same as you as well. I was going through. Carl said I just finished last Wednesday. I'm taking a break with it for now, but over to that, I was busy with my new job as the IT operations.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I appreciate it. I've been there for 2 months. And that's 2 months yesterday.
2 months already,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, 2 months now. So, yeah, I know. It don't feel that long, but it's been 2 months. So I've been busy. Just getting my head down and trying to learn, settle in. That was the more important thing I needed to do. And also had the Sam Radio football show as well. I was doing that. And I think I'm glad I took the break. We're taking the break for that as well. But I just wanted to have some time with my family, with my partner, because I'm catching up with a lot of people as well over the last couple of weeks since I'm now in this new life that I am now. So I get the weekends back, which is good. I'm hopeful I will be doing have 2 weekends off because I will be the odd time working on the weekend. But no, I am not more free. My shift pattern is no more night shifts, just day shifts. So that's one big plus for me.
No, that's good, man.
Also, before you move on, mate, as well, just obviously you're talking about being in dark places and not being in the best frame of mind, etc. But now you're at a place where you've addressed it, you spoke about it. So well done to you, man.
Yeah,
cheers, man.
And for both of us as well. More important for me, I was not the night shift was taking my life away. It was really hard. I just didn't know how to deal with that, and I think I realized my future was I can't do this forever, and I'm going to be turning 30 next year. So I'd rather just start. I'm in the peak of I'm in my career, so I had to do something that could sustain me long term wise to do this as well as all projects around there.
Yeah,
I'm the same as well. I'm 30 this year, so need to take a rain check to myself.
I'm 18 months behind you, Pearl.
Aye.
I know it doesn't look at it, some tough paper rounds. Tough paper rounds in there. But nah, I've got to give a fucking shout out to both of you two. Mutual friend of mine and Paul's, Aidan. He's been a great fucking hand. And obviously my partner being a fucking diamond. So it's probably her being the bloody viewer, by the way. So
woo! Shout out to the one viewer. Or it's Charlie knocking it as well.
No, I've texted him. He's not replied. Here, he's got the link. I can add him to the stream at any time. I mean, I kind of sat in. I came in and bought the last 20 minutes of the Scotland stream, didn't I? And absolutely
you did. Yeah,
I
you
just
did.
came in and Jack Grealish a Peaky Blinders dick.
I know.
So good.
It's a good thing I didn't drive Douglas home because I was already a bit drunk. So I good thing I didn't drive him home. I thought I'm not driving you home after that. So yeah, no, you get the taxi home. So that was good enough for me with that one.
Yeah. Yeah, just got shit together. Don't know where the buzz came from last night. I just thought, fuck it, it's time to go back. It's time to fucking take over. As Conor McGregor famously said, we're not here to take part, we're here to take over.
You're goddamn right we are.
It's time to fucking take over. But let's fucking crack on. We've missed the last 8 weeks, sort of thing. Didn't do a season review. Where else to start than the end of the Scottish Premier League season? Lennon ended up getting sacked in March. Rangers winning 1 or 55, however you want to count it. Jesus, I've got a sore throat after that. But no, I mean, I think the end of the season, you know, they were obviously going to win the league a mile off. I think you said on here countless times, runaway champions. Next to no one put a glove on them, really, did they?
Yeah.
No.
Except for us at the start of the season, of course, in that one-off game where they were piss poor.
See, the thing is, I don't think they were.
Save.
I didn't think they were piss poor. I think yous were compact and do what Livy do. I mean, we had a great 2-2 draw with them, and if you know things are, you get the rub of the green, you beat them. But they were mental how good they were last season. Paul, coming to the end of the Scottish League season, how does it end for Livy, and how do you take this forward?
How'd it end at the right time? Exactly when it ended, mate. If we could have went any further down that table, I think this time we'd be sitting in League One, never mind the Championship. Do you know what I mean? Absolute guff,
yeah, but just like go from the sort of, if you say the season started when Martindale took over again, to the end of the season, how would you rate it as a season?
That question.
Give it marks out of 10.
So many answers. Oh, marks out of 10. I'm in too good a mood tonight, boys. I can't get an honest answer. Probably realistically, probably about a 6. Being in one cup final, finishing the top 6, approaching the cup final the way he did. We'll not even get into that because obviously that was what I spoke about the last time I was on this show, and I probably went into it. You know, Marvin Bartley left mid, now assistant coach, but we'll see how that goes anyway. A solid 6. We'll go with a solid 6. But we spoke it off camera, you know, in the pub, a wee walks, whatever one you want to go with. But David Martindale, he's a new manager. He's been around football now for 7-8 years in terms of Livingston Football Club and the different roles he's had.
He's been in the game for 20 odd years.
Aye. But even just at Livingston, he's been there, 8? Must be 8 years now? 9 years now? So he is a part of the woodwork. Do you know what I mean? He's well instained in it. So I wouldn't say sack him, but I definitely think she needs to grab the bull by the horns and stick to his one formation or one style of play and build on it. That was the issue with the end of last season. You know, went in that 13-game unbeaten run, and then
he changed it.
He started changing things, like putting Marvin Bartley in left wing.
But it changes PC. It demoralized the team morale completely when he kept changing the formation, etc. Yeah,
I think partially, but also we had Scotty Robinson, who won us a few games. I say a few games. He actually managed to get the winning goal in quite a few of the games, actually.
Yeah, the 1-0.
Yeah, and then the 2-1 against Kilmarnock as well, last minute when he loved the keeper.
That was lovely.
And then, of course, apparently there was a bit of fallout in the dressing room because
a bit of fallout. I've heard
fallout.
Yeah, obviously he's known for his. I don't know if you want to put prima donna in there. Put prima donna antics.
Well, I'll give you an inkling into Scott Robinson. Right, I was out uptown. I was up George Street. night before.
George
I think I was
Street,
in Why
fucking high
Not,
roller.
George Street. Mate, I was just like that fucking.
Pinging credit cards left, right, and centre. Come on.
Mate, I was at my dad's family. It was. I didn't
Oh,
fucking
it's
pay
dad's
for
family.
anything.
That's
They're
fair
fucking
enough.
class. I tried to buy a round, I just got fucking looked at. Like, what the fuck are you doing, little boy? Seen Scotty Robinson, and he was absolutely smashed out his tits. And had tickets for the Edinburgh Derby the following day. He is spewing up bile right in front of me before the game starts, and Gary Locke made him start the game. It was Gary Locke, whoever the Hearts manager was at the time.
Yeah, it was definitely Gary Locke. He was, yeah.
Going on Gary Locke, I seen Gary Locke on Saturday. I was actually had a quick blather with him.
Aye.
He looks fucking class, man. He somehow recognised me with my snood up. I was like, oh, right, Andy. I was like, Christ, how did you recognise me? You've seen me in about fucking 5-6 years. He's looking absolutely trim, by the way. Like he's like that, man, honestly. Trim as anything. With his missus, I thought, didn't he stop with your missus, mate? Get yourselves into the pub. Good enough to fucking stand for a couple of minutes and have a wee chat.
That's good.
But aye, Scotty Robinson thought it's a bit shitty because I think it disrupted the rhythm of your team.
Aye.
You know, and having to rely on Jet.
Now, the conversation about Jet. I don't know if any of you watched the Aberdeen game the other night. I didn't watch it, but I've been told by several people now. Like, one person tells you kind of go, all right, fucking behave yourself, man. He wasn't that good. But now I've been told by like 4 or 5 people that he was one of the standout players in that game on Thursday night.
Scott Brown's
the best player
on the pitch, seemingly.
Aye. I mean, Jet might not be the fittest. He might not be, you know, that sprinter, you know, the one that runs off the last shoulder and beats the keeper and does all that kind of stuff. But technically,
he's effective, isn't he?
Skill-wise, yes. And in terms of holding the play up, it was what Livingston was perfect for. We just, at times, didn't play the right wingers on either side, or the support players. So, for example, see when you had like Craig Sibbald in the middle, and then at the odd time, Bartley in the kind of like what you say, the quarterback position.
Yeah.
And then on the wings, if you had like Alan Forrest and Josh Mullen, like we call Josh Mullen the postman for a reason. He fucking delivers, right? So that was like the perfect kind of attacking lineup. Jet, Sibbs, Bartley, Forrest. And Mullen. Forrest on the left, Mullen on the right. And then Jet to hold up the play and have them run onto the ball.
Yeah, with Pitts in there as
well. Yeah, and of course, Pitts, yeah.
But then I think I'm going to speak about Livy and no mention him.
Nah, man. Nah. A wee cult hero the last few seasons. Which I hate to say because he's been outstanding in the early days that he came for us. Earliest Premiership days, he was outstanding. But sometimes last season, I don't know what it is. I don't know if him becoming a newfound father, you know, has it got a detrimental effect on him? Obviously, his life's changed. He doesn't seem to play the same way. It just doesn't.
That could be down to management and tactics. Could be management and tactics, man.
Yeah.
There's that too as well, but this is going to sound mental, but he generally looked tired on Saturday. And it was against Cowden Beach.
Mate, it's fucking pre-season.
Sat back. I know, but Cowden.
But it's still pre-season. I don't think you have to worry about that too much.
I know, but I'm a Livy fan, man. We do this every year, right? This is like the standard unwritten rule that Livy fans have to go through. We just scrape by Cowden Beef. We're getting relegated. That's like the kind of mentality of a Livy fan. It just happens, and then come like January, we're winning the fucking league.
Come like you get to the middle of October, get to October, you're sitting like 4 points off top of the league, and you're going to win the league.
And then we'll draw away what would have been Hamilton, right? So now we'll unfortunately need to use like Motherwell or Dundee or something like that, right? If it's fucking Dundee, it'll break me, right? But we'll have a draw against a team that's like mid-table to bottom table. And then we'll be like, fuck, we're getting relegated. It's just a living mentality. It just switches. You do try and be as positive as possible, but to give you the overall answer of your question, yes, the tactics that were changed, the personnel that was brought on and off, and obviously Serrano, for example, our left back we had on loan from Monaco, he was outstanding.
Class.
Like, no one understands just how good he was. And he's only 19, or 20, whatever it is now. I think Monaco, he's in the starting lineup for Monaco now. Well, the tail end of last season. Also, another massive loss in that back line as well. Kieran Brown. He's now starting for Cardiff. Yeah, it's the tail end of last season he was starting for Cardiff.
Yeah,
I think he's played in a few friendlies as well. So he's obviously part of, what's his name? Manager.
Mick McCarthy's
Cardiff.
Mick McCarthy's plans, thank you.
Big Mick knows that here. Big Mick knows a centre back or two, by the way. Like, he's always had solid centre backs.
You said the name Mick McCarthy. I just got the video clip where the music's playing and it zooms in his face and he's like,
yeah.
That literally just came into my head. I was like, class. But no, however, are we moving on to like the future and the future of this podcast?
You can take it on if you want. No.
Right, okay.
Take on the future. Where Livy are going. Because we can just mould sort of last season into this season.
If we gel the team as well as we have in previous seasons, i.e. the first season in the SPL, like Gallagher, Halkett,
Lithgow.
Yep, the most outstanding triplet at the back ever. But no, if we bond the team like that, right, outstanding stuff. But it needs to happen soon. On Saturday, for example, Craig Sybil scored an outstanding goal, right?
Yeah, I've seen that. It was
probably the highlight of the game, right? Pulls it on his left foot, maybe about just outside the 18-yard box, and he it's like a half chip, half finish shot, if you want to put it that way, over the keeper.
Yeah, it's like a dink sort of thing,
in the corner. Aye, definitely. But there's some like build up in the play that you've seen on Saturday, and some of it looked exceptional. Like 2-touch stuff, straight in the box, shot off. Bruce Anderson, see if we get him service. So, for example, Josh Mullen,
he'll score goals, man.
He will score goals, mate. 6-yard box, 12 yards out. If he hits the target, it's a goal. And he will keep us up. Because obviously, as a Livy fan and as a club, the first aim is to stay in the Premiership. It always has been and it always will be.
Yeah, like...
Or whatever league.
I was watching a thing with... See, the thing is, I was watching a thing with Callum Davidson on Sky Sports, right? And he literally got asked of Boydie and that prick Andy Walker. What's the... what do you want to do this season? First of all, stay in the league.
Yeah, exactly.
Stay in the league. And I'm like, what? Like, they've only lost sort of 2-3 players for that squad, right? I'm not sure they'll lose many more. Because they should want big bucks for all their players. Jason Carroll, will cost millions now, or should do. And he's still like, what, stay in the league? I think everyone sort of below Hibs and Aberdeen this season, because I think we're going to run away for a 5th and 6th place challenge. Should be looking to stay in the league and then build after Christmas.
Man.
That's just me. I know the stream's going funny, guys. I don't know if it's my internet or not.
It's fine, we're back. Seems like
we're back, yeah.
But no, even continue like the rest of the signings that Livingston brought in. Managed to catch a glimpse of Montano. He used to play from Port Vale. I think it was maybe 2-3 seasons back. He was at Port Vale. That was the kind of level he was at that point. Showed a bit of class on Saturday. He's a winger, left winger, and Rogers has frozen.
Yes, he has.
It's me and you, Carl. It's me and you, mate.
It's just me. Yeah, I know. Hopefully we'll get him back. But as I said, it's interesting to see how how you lot go into the season, because it's like I said, it's just about staying up, isn't it? Now, because I have to admit, you guys were decent until the point when it just went down. And I thought, he still had a chance to get that, the place in Europe. But unfortunately, because he just missed out on goal difference as well, that was a huge killer.
Yeah. Wasn't just that as well. Like, I felt the way Martindale managed the press conferences, for example. After that, his sense of humour, right? A lot of fans were hating on this, and to be fair, it wasn't the best move for him. But he joked. Well, he never actually joked. He said it quite seriously, but I kind of saw the humour in it. But he said that he wasn't bothered about qualifying for Europe because we couldn't go into Europe anyway because we didn't have basically the ticky boxes. So we didn't have a youth academy.
Requirement, requirements.
Criteria. Yeah. So.
Are we back, boys?
Yes,
we did here. You got so.
I'm sensing tactics here, getting the Twitter handle in there. Carl started I might just happen to just drop off and just come back with a wee Paul Craig 91 here. Like.
Yeah. No, interesting with that one. It really is. So hopefully, Adji, back got you into the stable connected fine. So
yeah, my internet's gone a bit funny. I think it's because my dad's working down the stairs, so we're both using the internet. He should be just finishing the news, so.
Fair enough.
Yeah. If your phone's on the Wi-Fi connection as well, turn your phone off. Like your phone connection off.
All right.
There's one less device connected to the Wi-Fi, so it doesn't have to work.
True, actually.
Manager on a call centre, mate. Troubleshooting.
Right, you were talking about Livy before I was rudely taken off the stream.
By some connection, right? But yeah, Bruce Anderson, he'll get his goals as long as he's given the service. He's like a $100 course as well. I was talking about Montano. Cannot remember for the life of me what his first name is. I want to say Julian Montano, something like that. Maybe I'm
sounds about right, doesn't it?
I'm just missing Julian Serrano. Maybe that's why I've just introduced his name as Julian. We'll go with Julian, right? Anyway,
we'll go with Julian.
Montano, he's a left winger. He used to play for Port Vale. He looked.
I know who you're talking about.
He was in goal of the season or something like 2-3 years back for League 2 or League 1, whatever it was they were in at the time. And BT it's basically the BT highlights that we took from that season to show his footage, what he was able to do. Oh,
really? He's done a soccer AM.
Pretty much. But
brilliant.
I think the other signings. I keep getting confused what one it is. It's Shinnie, the one that played for Rangers. Is it Andrew Shinnie?
He played for us as well.
Yes.
He's a brilliant player.
Aye. Sorry,
yeah, cracking player.
Yeah.
2 seconds there, guys. I'm live.
Yeah, very.
But thanks, that's fine. Yep.
And last but certainly not least, Charlie Banks of Strong Opinion Hibs has joined us.
How we doing?
Hello, better late than never.
Good
man. Hello.
This is Charlie's way there.
Yeah. Beard's still looking mighty fine.
Thanks, mate. It's probably in need of a trim, but
I'm saying no to that, Charlie. You just got to let it go. Just gotta let it grow.
Let it go or let it grow?
Let it grow.
To be fair, if we wanted to go ahead with another name of a podcast, we could go with 4 beards in football or something like that.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. But yeah, just to catch up, Charlie, I was basically talking nonsense as per usual about Livy. But aye. So Bruce Anderson, goal scorer, absolute machine. Once he gets the service. Montano, a left winger who we signed in from Port Vale. I think he was on a free transfer though, but the previous club before that was
Just didn't do paying fees, mate.
Well, when we do it stupid. We do it stupid.
Yeah, you do.
Maybe in recent times we've done it all right, to be fair. But yeah, if we can get a freebie, why the fuck not? We've also got, unfortunately, we lost the likes of Guthrie, who at some points in the season he was one of the best centre halves in the league, and that's fact. Nicky Devlin as well. He's now our club captain. Still at right back, but of course he's not been able to play because of the virus that was going about. Not that virus, but a virus. I'm trying to think who else it was signed. The goalkeeper from Norwich City. He's a youth player. I keep forgetting his name. I feel so bad, man, because he's actually a decent player, decent goalkeeper. Nah. Oh, he's away.
He's away again.
Oh, he's away. He's out, man. He's gone. Anyway, but we've got a new goalkeeper. Got but I want to say he's an England under-20 international, something like that. He played on Saturday. He played relatively well. The two centre halves and the midfielder we signed. We've actually signed so many people that I can't keep up.
Yeah.
But it's like folk for like down south who have not played in like 6 years. it's like Davy Martindale's just been cutting about like kick pitches and been like, yeah, mate.
Yeah, true.
I got a word. And they've been like, this guy one.
Nah, especially looking at Martindale.
Like a game of football on a real football pitch.
Nah,
but,
you haven't got a real football pitch.
No, mate, I'll set you up nicely there. Right. Just you disconnect, right? No, but
Mate, it'll happen again. You can, it'll happen again.
But you had I can't remember the name. I want to say his name is Parks. But the only way I can really describe him, or how other people have described him from like previous teams, is he's just an out and out psychopath. So fits our team pretty well.
Hey, every team needs a psychopath, right? Yeah, every team needs a psychopath, right? So
that's the thing. We used to be a team of psychopaths. So
yeah, I know you. Yeah.
So the comeback is on. But yeah, I can't remember the names of the players, man, that we've signed. Oh yeah, we've got the Rangers boy.
I know
the 19-year-old Ben Williamson. He seemed alright. He came on against Cowdenbeath. And there he goes again.
He did say he was going to go up again, so just continue anyway till he actually tells you we'll move on to the next one.
Before he comes back, I'm going to say he's going to cut off a further 4 times before he's like, nah, boys need to re-scrap, right? 4 times. 4 times.
Here he comes.
Oh, we've got a buffering. We've got a dark screen. Hey! Andy Jack in the box, Rogers, what a guy.
This is worse than Calvin's fucking Wi-Fi.
Just to round it off.
Wi-Fi out.
just to round it off, basically, I think realistically we won't be top 6 this year. But I do think we'll stay up. As long as the team gels. Oh! Almost as equally as good, sorry, before I move on. Just as equally as good as a new signing. Jace Cabbage, whatever the fuck you pronounce his name is, right? The wee Irish guy. What a player! Like, I don't care if it was Cowdenbeath on Saturday. I'm retracting my words. But the skill that boy has, unreal. Unreal. Do you want entertainment value? We Jace Cabbage. What a guy.
Oh, God.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh.
Sorry, that's me. We rounded up Libby's last season, Libby's this season. So.
Yeah, we've done all that now, yeah.
Right, before I take mine and Charlie's sort of take on Hibs, Carl, review the Jambos sort of season last season and what you think going into this season.
Do you know what? We started really well, to be quite honest with you, despite what happened last summer. And then I think during that mid-season, everything just went chaos behind the scenes and on and off the pitch. Too many draws.
Yeah.
Got knocked out by Borough Rangers, which still fucking to this day is a fucking disaster. And then all the end of it, we didn't want the flipping FPFL lot coming to give us a trophy presentation. So, you know what? I knew I was going to mention that at some point. I knew you lot were going to laugh us off. So I thought it was a good mention to remind people how we went through the last couple of months, even though we had a shorter season. So, look. Yeah, but we lost to an average team all like that's what it feels like. That's the embarrassing. The way we changed. I think it was only 6-7 plays we changed as well. That's how like, whoa, you really stooped to the lowest of the lows, getting knocked out by Borough Rangers. Yeah, I remember the next day I was watching Report in Scotland and flipping out. I remember the players were talking about it. It's like fuck my life, you know. Yeah, there was just I remember watching a couple of games of Hearts last season online, and there was one or two okay games, but sometimes I think we just didn't keep our clean sheets properly. We were not concentrating as much, which was really bad. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I think with Robert Nielsen and people, you know, I was one of those few fans said Nielsen, Budge out. We not got either of them out. Budge is still there, even though the foundation of Hearts have taken over the club, but not fully taken it over because she's still the chairwoman at the club.
Yeah.
So, which is a bit of a disaster. We've released 12 players, including Christoph Berra. Harry Cocaine is now gone to. He's going to Queen of the South now. You have Buddy Andy Irving's now going to play in Germany for a third division team. It's just been a fuck fest, a fucking mess to quite honestly, yeah. And I have to admit, we've only signed two players that we had on loan. That's it. That's all we've done, and we've not done much in it. We've got a small squad as well at the moment. I really do have a bit of worry now at Tynecastle Park because we're not made real quality signings, and I'm worried about the first game of Friday. Yes, I know Celtic. I was trying to be thick now and again over the last couple of games, but I do worry about going into Friday's game. You know, I just don't know what more to say with that one to both of you and to Andy as well because it's just a mess. I don't know what to say. I really don't. Compared to what with Charlie, compared to your lot across the city and doing so well and getting right sided, I just be a shit show.
Yeah. Hi. We've not made
Shit
that
show
many
like
good
my
signings.
fucking internet.
We've made two signings, and I think they'll both be good for us this year. But I think the big one for Hibs is that Scott Allen's back. He's like a new signing, and we just need to progress deeper into Europe, I think, and then we'll see what the squad's made of. But
yeah, fair enough. You see, you like I say, you lot have got a decent squad. I'm not gonna lie to you. Ours is to be a shit show because we've not even done much progressively in this window this summer, which is not surprising because we did try to hire a new recruitment analyst that was that was put publicly. I was like, should I really go for this? Oh no, it's gonna be a disaster. I'm not doing this analyst shit anymore. So someone else took. It's just been a mess from after the end of the season, end of last season. It's just been a fucking mess.
It's been a good laugh being a Hibs fan laughing at you. I'm not gonna lie.
I know. I'm just used to that now, so I'm not making no quarrels about it. So yeah, let's leave it at that. And like I said, no style, no bottle, Wi-Fi out. I just frozen up again. So yeah, I don't know. Look, like I said, I don't know about you, Charlie, but you looking at your Hibs are looking well again going into the season. You Jack must have signed it to your contract extension, hasn't it? So you look like he's not going anywhere.
No, he's not going anywhere unless he's poached. Which some Hibs fans will be delighted about, some Hibs fans not so much. But I think we're moving in the right way. We just brought in a new chief executive this morning who was at Norwich before us, and has transformed Norwich into they're a half decent side now, on and off the park. So I think we're going in the right way. Oh, Andy's upside down.
And he's back in the right way around.
Yep.
I'm the right way round, wrong way round.
You're the right way round.
Right way around.
Yeah.
Kim, what I've done, right? I've disconnected my internet and went on my phone internet. Connected it to my hotspot on my phone.
Cool, man. Cool.
This stream's been like half an hour, I tell you.
Oh.
Don't worry. I've kept the ropes here while you're being good in and out. So
just my luck, man.
Yeah.
Do I come back to YouTube for the podcast and it's just going up the Swanee?
It was bound to
Hey.
happen. bound to happen.
It's not worse for me a couple of weeks ago on Saturday Football Show when I had connection issues. Let me tell you, it was the fucking worst day, but it was so humid. I'm like, and we had issues with connectivity. I'm like, what the hell's going on? It was more from my end. I'm like, everything should be fine. And I was like, you know what? I'm into the show. So I end the show an hour 20 minutes early. But no, yeah, at least an hour early. I said to my pastor, hello, fuck this. I'm just gonna cool out and relax myself. I can't be bothered for the rest of the day. I said, Helen, pour me that bloody glass of wine because I freaking needed it after. So, yeah, that's how life works with me. But good thing I've not had no connection issues for a while. So, which is doing the best thing. But yeah, like I said, going back to Hibs last year, Charlie, you did work quite well, but we're not going to mention the game because I know you know which game we're talking about. We're not going to mention.
No, let's keep Hampden out the equation because that was where.
Yeah, I'm going to keep that out of the equation. Okay.
Yeah, can we do that, please? We covered.
Don't worry.
About 7 weeks ago, like.
It's all good. Hopefully we can get back there this season. But I think my biggest problem with Hibs last year was just the lack of consistency. Really. You know, we got beat 3-0 off Livingston at home, then got beat off Ross County at home, and like it's just games that a typical Hibs team should win. Like no disrespect to any opponent that beat us at Easter Road, but we should finish in third. We should have won a lot more games than we did. But you know, it was a good opportunity to split the old firm as well because Celtic were awful last year. So
I know.
So hopefully we kick on. No, I think Celtic will finish third. I think somebody's going to split them.
I think they will. I think it is a chance. It's either between you and Aberdeen. It's the only two teams I can figure. Hearts are nowhere near, and I think they're going to be down in the bottom half. We know that. I think because of the signings we've made, we are going to fucking struggle a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you, but I think it's between. Yeah, I think Aberdeen's got a point to prove on the Stephen Glass, which is going to be interesting now in his first full season. Yeah. But I will say, with what Jack Ross has done and how, you know, your American owners have really come in and really bettered the club, keep the club to its core values, that's so important. And I think deep down, I think Hibs will be working the force for the next 2 or 3 years if they can keep their way going. I really do, to be quite honest with you. It's how, you know, what Leanne Dempsey did before she left, you know, how she kept the club, you know, run the club quite well. So, do you know what? I have to say, it's either you and Abby can break that old firm split again, to be quite honest with you. But I think you lot can do it again.
I think so. If we keep our key players, then I think we've got a good shout. I think if we lose one of them, then it might be a bit difficult to get that form again. But you know, keep Nisbet, keep Doig, keep Porteous, and I think we've got the makings of a solid squad there.
True.
Right, I think it's actually my connection to StreamYard because everything on the internet's fine. So fuck.
Fair enough, then. Yeah, because I just said to the guy I had that issue a few weeks ago with my connection. Oh yeah, I had that issue. So I remember I ended the show fucking early. I said I'm done with this. I just said I'm just coming off here. Yeah. So I know the feeling. So yeah,
this would happen on the fucking comeback. Honestly, fucking shit show.
I'm doing Charlie, a lot of testing.
Elaborate on the thing that's had me giggling since Thursday.
Oh, the name of the captain.
It's just the funniest thing ever, honestly.
So I've got a wee nickname for Paul Hanlon, but I call him Paul fuck's sake Hanlon because usually that's my reaction when he makes a mistake. But
so funny, honestly.
He's just. I think he looked good on Thursday. So did Porteous.
He looked solid. I thought at the back. Well, for centre backs, we did.
I think if they can work together pretty well this year, then hopefully we concede less goals.
I think we got to build up a bigger and better home form because our home form was disastrous last year for me.
Mm-hmm. Aye.
I think if Aberdeen were a bit more consistent, they would have ran away with third place.
Oh, we beat them at the right time of the year because they were in a bad run of form. But you're right, they could have easily had third wrapped up a lot longer than we had the opportunity to.
Aye, lucky Dodge found that peachy goal at Pittodrie.
Aye.
Just on the topic of Aberdeen, by the way, like that was the one team last season that at times Livingston supporters were confident that we would beat.
And you never did you?
No.
We bet them for the first time in 9 seasons away. 3-2, if I remember. No, was it 2-0? 2-0?
Yeah, it was 2-0. Yeah, it was 2-0. Yeah.
We did that. If I remember it, and it was a Nicky Devlin's first ever professional goal in the top flight. And he was like the most unmarked man on the planet. You'd think it was a training exercise, like in FIFA when they defenders, like literally that was how bad the defender was. He got a header, and I'm pretty sure it was McKenna that was meant to pick him up, and he was just nowhere. He was absolutely, yes, Andy was absolutely nowhere. Just like yourself, mate. Anyway, I can't remember. Jackson Longridge scored the second, but I can't remember.
Yeah, we're over it. It's going to be interesting how it goes the first game of Friday because we have to play against Celtic, and this is going to be interesting. What type of Celtic team is going to come on Friday? Because there's one day they just look laggy against West Ham. That 6-2 defeat was not
I know, and they're playing. Is it tomorrow night in
Michelin? Yeah.
So you're probably playing them at the right time of the season, right after they've had a potential European exit again.
Well, that's true. Yeah, no doubt about that. It is probably maybe is the right time, depending how they do tomorrow night. That's going to be interesting because if they don't win, it probably is a good time. If they do win, it's probably a bit of a bad time for the Jambos. Those Jambos playing the game on Friday, so there's so much inquiries about that. And I know a couple of my colleagues are Jambo fans. We have talked about it. I think one of my colleagues on my team is a Jambo fan. And we talked about our situation, about do we go into the season, start well against Celtic? Does it kick our start a season? Probably not, because we're not. Because, like I said, this is how much of a rundown chicken factory we're running at the moment. So I don't know what more I can say to boost us up. So
it'll be interesting. I think I'm not convinced by the Celtic team. I think they're in a rebuild, and I think Rangers will win the league at a canter again.
Aye.
I'm in the same opinion.
I just couldn't see them going unbeaten. I think there will be one or two teams can break Rangers, but I think Rangers will still run away with it.
It'll be like that second year of Rodgers with Celtic. Yeah, I mean they'll still win the league at a canter, but teams will take more points off them.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, exactly that. So
here's the question for you: what teams in the league do you think will take points off them? I personally think
Hibs.
You guys, Hibs.
Yeah, I'm going with Hibs as well.
Yeah, if Aberdeen play how they did in Europe, for example, potentially.
Yeah, I think Hibs will be one of them. I can't see one of it. No, I can't see Celtic taking the points off them. That's not going to happen. But the one team I could see maybe take points of them, and don't be surprised, it may be St. Johnstone, the way they finished towards the end of the last season. So I wouldn't bet against them how Carl Davis has done. So I would say St. Johnstone could take 1 or 2 points away from Rangers.
Suppose so. It's probably because I try to forget about St. Johnstone so much.
So are we.
Up in the cup. Yep.
That bloody.
Let's move on from that. Yeah. Well, what's the next topic, Andrew? What do we got?
Sort of looking at next season in the sort of Premier League. Also, my lot of just.
I was going to say before we move on to English football, have any of you guys been to any of the League Cup games yet?
No.
Not yet.
Nah.
Mm.
So none of you have experienced football in COVID times.
I was at the Hibs European game on Thursday there, and I'm going to stay in Stirling Albion on Saturday. So I'm looking forward to that. But I was at Rafe versus Hibs pre-season game 2 weeks ago. But to be honest, they felt pretty normal because they weren't really enforcing the whole mask issue, and it does feel like football's back to being normal again. Which, apart from obviously the smaller attendance, but
for me, for me, it's only season ticket holders only at Tynecastle. But the problem is as well, for what I was told by a few of my colleagues, that even if you're from the same household, you can't sit next to each other, which was a bit surprising. Yeah, I know. I thought when other people can sit next to each other in the same household, but you can't at Tynecastle, which was a bit surprising. But like I said, I didn't even renew my season ticket in the end. I decided against it for a while because I decided to buy my membership for Leeds United only so I can go down see my family down in Yorkshire now and again. So I decided to put that money, invest in that instead of investing in another season ticket. So for now.
Nice one. No, one thing I will say definitely about the whole COVID regulations and all this, like I was at the pub on Saturday before the Cowdenbeath game with my mate Greg. Sat right across from him, sat next to him, and we were joined by another friend. We had tickets a good 3 or 4 rows away from each other. There was literally a decent 100 seats available. We could have sat next to each other, socially distanced. But when we were going to move, one of the stewards wasn't too chuffed about it. And it was like, come on to fuck, man, but we're still, we're still following the rules, which make no sense whatsoever, in my opinion. But I mean, I'll still follow them because one, it's daft to get in trouble for something that's so petty. Two, I want football, man. Talking about mental health earlier, Andy, how much does your mental health boost when you're doing something you enjoy? Sounds cliche, but it's a fact. You know what I mean?
Oh, massively, man, honestly.
You feel happy.
Yeah.
And of course, I know it's a football podcast, but I cannot wait for the turn of live music. It feels like
live music returns on Friday, mate.
Oh yeah, yo. Yeah.
I got Dictator on Friday, so
yeah.
Fair enough then, fair enough. Yeah, before you got cut off, Andy, we were going to talk about the Premier League, won't we? So the English Premier League. And I'll take the lead of this one because I think he's paused again. Well, yeah.
Oh, he's back. That was wonderful.
You back now.
Man United have gave me a proper stoner the last couple of weeks. The club's gave me a proper stoner, if there's such a word. I mean, Varane and Sancho.
No. He was about to say, yeah, I know. Those are the 2 words you can say about that one. Yeah, not surprised to sign Sancho. This has been coming for quite a while. And I felt good, decent amount of money. But for Varane, this was interesting because I thought to myself, there's no way we're able to do myself after the let go of Ramos, which was very surprising. I thought, they would have extended his contract pretty much. But yeah, I know for £41 million, that's a good deal, actually.
Exactly, in the grand scheme of things, in terms of what world football's producing now for transfer fees, that is a bargain.
Well, especially if you look at Ben White going to Arsenal for 50 million. Man, you are signing a Champions League winner. He won the World Cup with France.
Yes,
for 10 million less. That's
exactly.
Crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy as hell, to be quite honest with you. And like I said, we all knew Sancho was going to come. And actually, fair play to Dortmund because I realised he had a year left of his contract. I thought, we're not going to get the 120 million that we wanted. We just sell it for at least 73 million. And he probably was right because Man United played a really good transfer business bag and they just knew what they needed to do. So, as I said, this is going to be interesting because we played against them at Old Trafford in the first game on Friday. It's going to be interesting to start that Saturday lunch kickoff on the 14th of August. Yeah, I'm a bit, I don't know about that. I would have said, I was 50-50, but I'm now looking more like, depending how Varane and Sancho plays, it'll be interesting if Leeds can get some points, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be a hard game. I'm not going to lie to you, but at least we get this game out of the way, which is a good thing. We get the game against our rivals out of the way. You say about Varane and Sancho?
Oh, just to be fair, you just signed what's his name, Farpe. Is it Farpe? His name is
Firpo.
Junior Firpo, aye.
Firpo.
Yeah,
signing for Barcelona.
I know. I was surprised we got it for a good deal. Yeah. No, it'd be hell of a game. And I think even though we've been linked with with Mikael Damsgaard, that's been going on for quite the last 2-3 weeks. But interesting to see if Victor Orr does go to Italy, and it's more likely he's been traveling all over Europe to get the players that we wanted. He's been going up and down. So we'll see how it goes if we do get him. I think it's a bit interesting how we start the first season, and especially we need a backup goalkeeper as well, because with Casillas now gone, thank fuck for that. But the goalkeeper the goalkeeper will get.
He loved the fumble, didn't he?
He loved the fumble, and he just loved how to make error prone to lead into goals. So you know what? I'll leave it at that one. But yeah, Firpo was a good deal. We needed a left back for a fucking while. And then I think I was one of the bandwagons when Alioski, he's going to fucking go to Galatasaray, because I thought you don't go to the team that killed 2 fans out of our fans over 20 years ago, but thank fuck he's not going there. And I think I've now realised that he's gone to one of the clubs I think it's in Qatar. So that deal's now confirmed as of yesterday. But all the stock talk was it was him and Van Aanholt. That was one of the players who will go to Galatasaray. I think Van Aanholt's contract situation.
A 3-year deal.
Yeah, exactly. But they were not going to agree, because I think they were not going to accept what he wanted. And somehow they did in the end, which was surprised, because I thought Alioski was their first choice. But turns out it wasn't. So it's going to be interesting with 1 or 2 more additions. The goalkeeper one situation is interesting, because we can't have someone who's similar age to Meslier, no disrespect. And Meslier had a good decent season, but he did have a bit of error prone as well. But I think he's more better than Casilla in my mind, even though he kept 11 clean sheets as well. So it's just we need that defense a bit more organized now, and trying to not leak too many goals like we did last season. The first few games we did. So like I said, it's going to be interesting to see now, because hopefully now with Llorente, can he come good now after we paid about 20-something million pounds for him? So it's going to be see how he comes good. But Fipa can play centre back as well as left back, so at least we got that versatility as well. And I think if we do we've been linked with so many players, or like Damsgaard, Noah Lang from Club Brugge, who was on loan from Ajax, who had a very good season. I think he had that 17 goals and 13 assists last year in the Belgian league, which was very interesting. So, but we do need a backup to Bamford. That's what we need. We need a backup right now.
Yeah, I expect us to beat yous, but not like the 6-1 or 6-2 it was at Old Trafford last season.
Yeah,
but I mean, I'm hoping we can challenge, but I'm not going to hold my breath. I still think United need a couple of players. A bit like Hibs, I think Hibs need a couple of players.
But what's the situation with Pogba? Because is he really going to go to PSG? Because even though some PSG fans don't want him there, which I saw the banner yesterday. I saw the banner, and I was like, yeah. I'm not surprised that PSG the fans don't want him, but are you surprised this is happening again? Well, that's what I was going to say. Why is it happening again like he did over a decade ago? Why is it the same situation again?
Mino Raiola. We went into, just him, just Mino Raiola completely. I don't know how far to go into it, but I think all this has been done since the Liam in the Champions League. When he came out the day before saying Pogba's not going to sign a new deal or that.
Yeah, that's good. That's a bit. It's gonna be a bit worried for that because he's gonna go on a free again, and you're not gonna get no more profit on him, which is a bit of the typical classic move from Mino Raiola. Just surprising. It really is.
Yeah, I think Rodgers away again. Jeez. I thought it was holding out, but it's not holding out.
Yeah. I don't know. As I said, I think if Man can make one or two more signings, there can be that the club to try to stop Liverpool and Man City. But it's going to be it's like I said, the getting the right signings right. It's just making sure can they really get it right done this time compared to what was the last few seasons. So, and they're spending so much money over the last couple of years. I think over £1 billion now since Fergie retired. So this is
money.
It is. It really is. To be honest, to see where Liverpool, because like Man City and Liverpool not made use. Well, Liverpool's got Kouyaté from Leipzig, which is a good deal. And even though they got so much money back from the deals that they sold Harry Wilson to Fulham for £12 million, which I did not think Fulham would go to that limit and spend that money, but fair play to Liverpool with that one. But Man City have not done much, and I have to say, PC, I'm worried about Man City because they've not even got a striking replacement for Aguero, and it sounds like they can't even get a striking to a financial fair play situation.
Keep forgetting he's away, man. Oh yeah, and then of course a transfer embargo, which might or might not happen. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing because and that's another question as well, Charlie. Because like I said, Liverpool are they going to reinvest quite well? If City don't reinvest in a striker, do you think even now that Liverpool could win the league if City don't invest in the striker?
I think Liverpool's big thing last year. Well, I'm a Liverpool fan as well as a Hibs one. So for us, it was too many injuries, and then the season sort of fell apart around Christmas time, and then we hit form at the right time of the season again. But yeah, I think keep Van Dijk fit. Konaté's a fantastic signing. I do think we need another striker, though. I think we need another option. Because Firmino's, I hate the term defensive forward, but he's not really He's not really an out and out goal scorer. So I think we need. There was musings that Suarez might be coming back, or we're looking at some other strikers, but I think the window doesn't close for another month and a wee bit. So I think there's enough time to bring players in, but. Yeah, if Liverpool can keep the injuries to a minimum, I think we can push City. But Man U will definitely be up there. I think if they need a defensive mid, and then they'll be flying.
Absolutely, yeah, true that. One thing I will have to say is Arsenal spending £50 million for Ben White. Really, is he worth £50 million? Look, we had Leeds 2 years ago. He's not even worth that money. He's only worth probably half that money a little bit.
It's English tax.
English money for you at its finest.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at the deals Liverpool have done for Konaté, Chelsea are doing for Koundé, and United have done for Varane. I mean,
exactly.
Even if Varane doesn't, if we get 2 years out of Varane, it's money well spent.
It would be. It absolutely would be. If you could get at least another year out of him out of the 2 seasons, if you can get the best out of him, it is going to be money well spent. Absolutely no doubt. Yeah. Liverpool recoup that money back from with their deal because they sold Harry Wilson for £12 million and a few other players. I think Shaqiri's might be going to Napoli. That's what I've been hearing in the talks as well.
Lazio wants to go. I think he said.
Yeah, he wants to go to Lazio. And I know Napoli was, but I think he wants to go to Lazio. So I think he's not surprised with that one. So Liverpool are going to recoup so much money back quite well. And they are going to spend it quite well when they get some more players. No doubt about that. But when it comes to Arsenal, I question why they spend £50 million and maybe £40 million on Ramsdale as well, which makes no sense of paying for 2 overpriced English players. Okay? It is no sense. The last couple of years, Ramsdale's been at 2-3 clubs when all teams relegated. I think he was at Chesterfield on loan one time. They got relegated. Bournemouth, they got relegated. United got relegated.
Ramsdale's a half decent keeper, but Arsenal should never be looking at him.
I know.
The thing is, they should have backed Emi Martinez, not Bern Leno.
Yes, 100%. Fucking 100%.
Martinez should have been their backup or first choice. You know, that's two good keepers there that they've got on the books.
He fucking kind of won the whole tournament for Copa America for Argentina. That says it all with that one, because how the hell you let him go for £60 million and he actually, I think Bill difference with both Arsenal or just or maybe Bolden, but you know, he was the best buyer at all. And I'm like, how the hell did Arsenal let that keeper go? And he just helped Messi to win the Copa America just 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. It says it all with that one.
I know. It's mental, really, when you think about it. And Troops has got to get clipped up for saying what he said about disrespect about Ollie, comparing him with Arteta. It's a fucking joke.
No, I'm not. I'm sorry. I have to agree with you with that one. It is a bit. That is very disrespectful. No disrespect. You can't compare Ollie to Arteta. Ollie's done so much for your lot, and what has Arteta done for Arsenal? Yeah, he maybe won the 2 FA Cups, but Solskjaer is the pinnacle part of the pinnacle of what Man United it was, and what he's trying to be again. That's what it is. There's a difference with that one. You know, so I did not like how Troops compared that. That was a fuckery mistake with that one.
Take it that's from Arsenal TV.
Yeah. Troops. Yeah. See, when I heard about it, I thought, oh God, really? You can't compare one who was a very, very good player and won the Champions League for Manchester United when he came out as sub, to Arteta, who, well, he was at Barcelona, but he didn't even get in the squad. So there's a difference with that one. You know, you can't. Yeah, exactly. So, no, but Arsenal spending £50 million on a player, on an English defender, and maybe £40 million. I'm just like, really? You're out of Europe. You want to spend that kind of money. You're letting clubs like Brighton to handpick and say, give us 50 million, we'll take it. You know, it's like, I don't know. I don't want to say much about Arsenal. I think Arsenal just, it shows how Arsenal as a club, in a way, compared to our other clubs that we support, have done quite well, be successful with half the money they spent on. So I'm not going to say much more on Arsenal, but I don't want to say much on Spurs as well too, actually, because that situation with Kane, yeah, that was going to be interesting if he, because it sounds like he's not going to go anyway. So
yeah, exactly, and you don't want to have a thorn in the ring amongst the roses. Do you know what I mean? If he's wanting to leave, and that's what he said for the past 2 years, is he not?
2 years, yeah,
2 seasons or so.
I know.
Sorry, I was going to say, what's the general consensus about Benitez at Everton?
I think it's a strange one, being the Liverpool manager, win the Champions League, then going there. But I think he'll do well at Everton. I think he'll do well.
Yeah, I did watch the pieces of the game against Milan. They look quite decent, actually, Everton. I think Gray and Townsend look quite decent on the wing. I think that's what Everton was bloody missing during the last season. So they look quite decent at Everton with having. Well, I disagree. That's fine, fair enough. But with Demarai Gray, who went to Leverkusen and they only got 4 handful of games, but coming back to England for Everton, it's interesting to see if I can try to feed into DCL, because that's the next thing that he needs to get his form back up and running.
Everton will be interesting to watch this season, especially what's going on there with the, what's been going around on social media about the suspected nonce at the club.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that's not been handled well by anyone, I don't think. Obviously, they had to come out and say it wasn't Fabian Delph, but they've not cleared the whole thing about Gylfi Sigurdsson.
Well, That's the thing. It'll be interesting what if it confirmed. But yeah, I can't believe how when the story came out, I thought, whoa, this is big. This is really big. And I just, I don't know. It's going to be interesting how this is going to pan out in the next couple of weeks because a couple of weeks ago on the Saturday we talked about Lee Griffiths. His future at Celtic is untenable. From a while back, it's been untenable, but it's just gone down to that new low. And I'm surprised he's not in the squad for tomorrow night as well, too.
Yeah. Like, the whole thing about it, the Lee Griffiths thing and all that, the possible thing with an Everton player, what goes through these idiots' heads? I mean, are they actually sick in the head? Because I think they are. I mean, did no one learn from what happened with Adam Johnson?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, because recently him and his girl are going to have another child. So, which is, yeah, they'll be having their second child, yeah. So she stayed with him, which is not surprised, but
I mean, Everton will be in the top sort of 7 or 8 this season, I think. I think Rafa will solidify that back four because that's what he does as a manager and he'll build to the back. I'm just still surprised he even went now.
Surprising, yeah.
You know what I found hilarious? So,
by the way, if I get disconnected again, I'll blow back in. So message me when he's finished the stream and I'll shut everyone down.
That's fine. I've got me. I've got it covered.
This is gone mental.
Don't worry about that. I've got that all covered. So yeah.
Sorry, boys. The fucking connection's been nuts.
No, it's not your fault. So don't worry about that. So like I said, you know me. I can handle it. So I can deal with it. I have a range of presented as well. So
there we go.
There you go.
That's what.
So yeah. Actually, before we go to the rest of the teams, we have to talk about the promoted teams: Brentford, Norwich.
Massive that one.
Yeah, Brentford. Yeah, Brentford. A very well-run club. That is what we. Yeah,
it's quite similar to when Bournemouth came up.
Yeah, very similar. But I think they're more ready for it. They've been more ready for than Bournemouth was for quite a while. I think they were more ready for quite a long time. I think Ivan Toney's going to be interested if he can continue his form in the Premier League, because I know there's going to if he continues that, there's going to be a lot of clubs be interested in him.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Yeah, I know. Norwich as well signed Billy Gilmore on loan, which is I think is a good deal because I think it's probably the right deal because he needs game time. Are they going to really suffer a bit because a lot they don't have Emi Bereda, who's now at Aston Villa?
All right, yeah.
Probably, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely as well. A newer team, Watford being back as well. Do you know what? That I have to admit, sometimes when they come back up, like, how long are you going to stay for? 2 years, 3 years? Then you come down, they go down, come back up. Yeah, it's going to be interesting with that one. It's going to be interesting how those three. Well, I feel like Norwich might go down again. It won't be a surprise. No disrespect, but
yeah,
I think Brentford.
Norwich, they've never actually in recent years actually got promoted instead, have they? In the past, like
no
years, is it now?
Exactly.
Fact,
so
did
yeah,
they not survive that year with Darren Huckabee? Was it Darren Huckabee up top?
No, they got relegated when Darren Huckabee was there. I do remember that one. And I think when it was Abby Houghton was in charge, I think they stayed up quite a bit. Yeah, but for 2-3 seasons. But I think they spent a lot, but they blew their money quite a lot, and then I think that's why they're not being like spending excessively. They're being very, very stingy. So it'd be interesting to see how they do that one coming this season. But I think Brentford, as I said, they're really good. They're really good. The squad they have is, like I said, me being a Leeds fan, knowing Pontus Janssen, it's good to see him up. I think he needed to go to. I think he needed to get away from Leeds. I think it was the right move for him to go Brentford, and at least he will captain now in the Premier League for the first time, and they will be playing, like I said, when we play against him. And so, but I am going down to the last day of the season in May. The last game is against Brentford. Hopefully they stay up. I am going down to London for the game, so yeah, it'll be interesting to go to the new ground as well. But yeah, one other team we're not talked about is Chelsea. Are they really, really quite dark horses for the Premier League this season?
I think they're definitely going to finish top 4. I think they might push. I think Koundé's a fantastic signing. I do think they need a striker though. I'm not convinced by Werner at all.
No,
definitely
God,
not.
no, absolutely not as well. Like I said, it's going to be interesting. Like I said, if they do get strikers, and they lost Giroud now, and there's been rumours with Abraham linked with Arsenal as well, which is a bit of an interesting one. It's a crazy season. It's a crazy summer. I'm not going to lie to you, these rumours. But if Chelsea can get a good striker, we know they can finish top 4 because Spurs are really, like I said, the situation with Kane is going to be ongoing for quite a while. Arsenal not going to be up to strength. It's good, and Leicester, depending how they do, so they can't. Leicester will always, no disrespect to Leicester fans, but always fall to the end, which they have done the last 2 seasons, not surprisingly. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it goes with that one. It really is. So, but I'm looking forward to the new season. I'm looking forward to that first weekend of fixtures. It's going to be quite exciting. I'm hopefully for your team, Charlie, Liverpool can just thrash Norwich again like they always do when you play them in the first game of the season.
We do like putting 5 or 6 past them, so hopefully we continue that form.
Fair enough. There. Let's go to our final part. Let's talk this review on the Euros. Yes, I got to talk. Yeah, I know. I know.
I was going to say you were moving on to the Premier League, but what about Newcastle United?
They said, look,
their ownership troubles and
the ownership trouble. See, this is a situation with them because now it's been adjourned till January now, so we're not going to know who's going to be, who's going to be in charge. And I have to say, you're right, PC, about Newcastle. What Bruce has to do now, he has to just give the stability until January to see where this goes. Because if Newcastle don't get that takeover, I can see them really be struggling if they don't get that takeover.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Newcastle's a decent team. I like Newcastle,
Okay, before you move on, West Ham, will they finish top 8?
I think they will do. I think so. Even though, I think with this Thursday Sunday situation, I think they'll be fine. I think they will, if they can get really one or two more players in. I think they're suited. They're really suited. I think what situation with Lingard, if they can get that deal sorted, I don't think they will now, but if they can get some other good deals and probably a strike up front, I think they're really ready for. I think they will finish in the top 8, no doubt about that.
Yeah, I think so too, man.
Yeah, no,
I think West Ham have got the makings of another good season. I think. I don't know who have they signed.
So they have. I'm just gonna go because I know that they have been. I won't say too much quietness, but they have been just kept trying to keep the most of the current players they have actually. So just see who they have signed because I don't think they have made big signings yet, but they have sold Felipe Anderson, who's gone back to Italy now. So they have signed Craig Dawson on the permanent deal. They signed one of the boys from Celtic, the Irish boy Armstrong, off of it as well. Yeah. But Brain is now gone. He's gone to Dinamo Moscow. So West Ham not made a big signs, but they've really kept the core of that squad that got them into that top 6 last season.
Yeah. I think if they keep Declan Rice, then they'll be fine.
Oh yeah, absolutely indeed. I think they will do 100%. Well, before we keep going, where do you see Wolves going? Can we see a resurgence like they were when they finished in the top? Because this,
don't think so. Nah. The Portuguese kind of, I don't know what the word to use, but the kind of maybe the word influence. The Portuguese the ultimate.
You mean Jorge Mendes being more the influence? Yeah, getting the it is. I think we're seeing that stale a little bit now. It was good to start with, but it's slowly, yeah.
The gleam and the shine off it's kind of just dimmed, and now it'll just go mid-table team, I'd say.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll go relegated, but they'll be mid-table.
Yeah, I 100% with that. I 100% agree with that one. Actually, to be quite honest with you, yeah, it's not a surprise. So, even can you see Palace finishing up in the top half, in the top 10? Because
I think that's a hard one. They never really seem to win many games, though, Palace, and always avoid relegation.
Yeah, exactly.
Haven't they?
Yeah, it's Vieira. It's gonna be interesting, that style of play. Can those Palace players really accustomed to that? They couldn't do that under Frank. Was it Frank de Boer? Yeah, Frank de Boer. That first 4 games, and he got sacked. Palace got to realize they have to trust Vieira what he needs to do if he wants if you want a club to go to the next level. Because we've been talking about it for years and years. Oh, they should be going to the next level. They just haven't. They never have done, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah, no surprise as well. Right, well, let's go to the final part. We have to talk about the Euros. Yeah, and I hadn't talked about this, not since the final, and I've kept quiet, which I needed to, because that was too much for me to take. And you Scots, I saw the piece on the national newspaper of really wanting Mancini to win the cup. He got your wish, and he actually took the article home with him as well. The newspaper home with him with his face on the front. But other than that, it wasn't quite a good tournament, despite it was playing in multiple cities. It was quite a good tournament, even though there was a lot of own goals scored, I have to admit.
So many.
Yeah,
there's so many negative talking points as well. You know, obviously the first one being Eriksen. You know,
yeah,
at Morocco, and the whole place just stopped.
It was a really hard day for all of us to see that. And when I heard about it, when I was at my partner's family gathering that day, it was hard to take actually. But I couldn't believe it. What the hell? I thought, whoa! And it was just like, you know. And I think UEFA could have done more of postponing the game as well, because this couldn't carry on. But I thought Denmark would then embarrass after Eriksen was collapsed. I thought they're not going to get through this group stage. But fair play to them. They're very determined. Said, no, we're going to do this for Eriksen. We got very good players. We know what we can do. We are capable. And I have to say, Charlie, Denmark were one of my surprise teams of the tournament.
They were mine as well. I really hoped that they would have went all the way, but you know the semi-finals is a respectable one for Denmark. You know, if they had went to the final and won it, I think everyone would have been happy with whoever they played in the final. Probably would have supported Denmark anyway. But they were good. I think they rallied together after Eriksen, unfortunately, almost died on the pitch, but. They were I think a lot of people surprised package of the tournament for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So, PC teams that really disappointed you. France, would you say France was one of the disappointing teams in the Euros? You know, there was so much tensions before in the French camp for quite a while with was it Giroud criticizing Mbappe, and Mbappe came up publicly, you know, having a go at him. And then after they lost to Switzerland in the last 16, no one did comfort Mbappe. Where does France go from here? Because they're gonna have to sort the internal conflicts out now.
I mean, you say about internal conflicts. I don't think we can only forget, but I can't remember the exact year it was. But they're never far from controversy. Like they never.
2010. Yeah.
Benzema. You had obviously Patrice Evra. About the whole, as we're going to go on unfortunately again, we'll have to talk about it. You know, it's sad to say, but racism is still a thing in the world. And France is a country that's never been far from it. You know, Patrice Evra reported that, you know, on national duty, again, I can't remember what year it was,
Of course, we've got the things with England, which we're going to talk on soon. But even I'm pretty sure back in the 80s, I'm pretty sure Platini was involved in something with France as well in one of the campaigns. Something about training somewhere, and he wanted to train elsewhere, or something small like that.
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, I think there was. I remember that's one of the stories that people talked about over the last couple of years about that. But like I said, this was the disorganized French squad that I've seen for quite a long time. I did not think it was going to happen. I thought they would try to do the double, and it just collapsed. It really just like slowly collapsed from that moment when Giroud was criticizing Mbappe. You could tell from that things were very tense in that French squad. You could tell.
Oh, 100%. However, I can tell why he was criticising him. Nah. Like I've never been a fan of the likes of Neymar and Mbappe. Maybe I can give Mbappe a bit of leeway because he doesn't seem to cheat as much. But for example, like in club level, like Neymar, he just falls about. Even in that Copa America, he just falling about. It's like, you're a talented boy. What's the point in doing that? I don't get it.
I know. No, not me either. But yeah, but like I said, we have to talk about the final and Italy. The fair play in the penalty shootout. They won it. They were the reason why they were the favourites. But we have to talk about the deep subject racism. You for 3 black English players get racially abused. For me, I knew it was going to happen. I was waiting for it after that game. I thought this was coming, and I have to say, Charlie, for me as an English fan, I'm more disgusted about our behaviour before, during, and even after the tournament.
Yeah, no, I think there's a minority in the English support, and there's a minority in every supporter, but the English ones are really the ones that make the press for their behaviour. And like you say, as soon as I saw Saka step up and miss, I'm like, I know what's coming next. And I feel bad because the 3 that missed the penalties came on like 5 minutes before the final whistle went in extra time. So it's one of these ones where your more experienced player should have stepped up in penalties. You shouldn't rely on
I agree.
A 19-year-old that's never taken a club penalty in his life to take the final penalty. And it's just, I think it was bad game management from Southgate's point of view. But like you say, I think Italy were the deserved winners on the night. I think if the whole tournament, you're right. If England had scored maybe 20 minutes later, I think England would have won it because Italy were on the ropes from 5 minutes in or earlier when England scored. So, no, I think it was a good game for the neutral to watch. I'd hate to be an English fan or an Italian fan watching that, but for us neutrals watching that, it was one of the better finals. It had almost everything in it, and it was, it was a bad way for England to lose it on penalties, but probably the way that the tournament deserved to be decided, because both teams deserve to be in the final, regardless of what people think. Both played very good football throughout, so aye.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually in a pub in Bathgate, of all places. However, it didn't feel like Bathgate, it felt like Rome. And I don't mean all the Scotland fans, like myself, for example, jumping on the bandwagon and saying it's coming Rome. I mean, generally, every Italian restaurant, Chippy, anyone with Italian staff had finished early that night and they were in the bounties. And I swear to God, it was just Italian people everywhere.
Yeah, I know. There's a huge Italian dispersal in mostly, not just Edinburgh, but also in part of the West Lothian as well. So it was never a surprise they were going to close, they were going to finish early. Because, like I said, I heard the fans pretty much after the game outside my flat. I was like, I know there's a few Italians near me, and it was quite a scene after a bit. But, as I said, like what Charlie said, I think it's the same situation we did it in Russia, where we scored against Croatia in the first few minutes. We always go negative defensively, and that is too much. It's getting to the point that you can't do this in international tournaments. You can't do it, and especially in finals as well. You can't do that.
It's not as if like England were like a prime Italian team or a prime German team.
Yeah, I agree.
Score past us.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I have to admit, the last couple, when all that abuse was coming out, I thought, you know what? This is why sometimes, as one of the English fans, why is it always the minority trying to do it? And it might cost us not hosting the World Cup, the UK, right? In 90s. And it will cost us. I think it will cost us. That's what I meant. So it will cost us now because I don't know how the security let this happen. How they let them.
That was down to the FA not giving enough, paying enough money for the police and all that.
I know.
Which it's the same thing with when the United fans broke into Old Trafford. We didn't pay for enough staff or policing for it. So reap what you sow with that. There's always going to be. There's no point saying like people saying, "Oh, these aren't football fans." Sorry, we've all got them. We've all got these idiots. Unfortunately, it always comes to light when it's a final. It just always comes to light. It's always. I mean, I think regarding the abuse, I think Southgate might be the best manager to help deal with that.
He is
just because of the abuse he took in '96.
Yeah, he is, and especially how some of the politicians, how they had to go taking the knee, all that crap. He stuck by. He's always going to. He stuck by
his boys, didn't he?
Yeah, it's also why people say to him, if he was a prime minister in the generation, he would be the better prime minister than Buddy Boris Johnson. And it is fair to regard this year because he does care about unity, not like the politicians. Not just on the Conservative, but all politicians when they need to do more. When one politician from the Tories didn't want to watch England because we're taking a knee from Marxism. I'm like, what's your problem? You used to be late. Yeah.
If you listen to I watched a podcast today with Gary Neville and AJ, and even AJ telling him it's not even political. Taking the knee, like Gary Neville asked him about it. It's not political. It was like to raise awareness and show that we're all together as one.
Yeah.
And basically just,
and it also,
it
all started with Martin Luther King. It started with Martin Luther King years prior before Colin Kaepernick took it. So I don't know why the people say this is because Colin Kaepernick. It started years before that. And why Martin Luther King was doing it because he wanted equality and unity. And this is what we have to go through again, where people just don't understand. There's something that people don't understand, and it's like you're just living in dinosaur land. That's what it is.
It's like what we covered in our podcast when we, had a chat with you about everything. What you dealt with yourself, growing up in Leeds, and that it was people are living such in a backwards world that
it was growing up in that part. Yeah, growing in Park Horizon and June Leeds. It was all that. I had that crap as well. And you know what? I thought to myself, it would have changed by now. But you know what? There's still the 1 or 2 elements. But like I said, and I always told you this so many times, and I tell it to my partner, I told it to my family, what my everyday fear is going into that taxi when I feel like I'm going to get abused. That's my fear. I told her that's my ultimate fear every single day when I have to go to I fear getting abused in the back of the taxi. That has been my fear for a long, long time.
Yeah. It's just people live in a backwards world. And it just gets highlighted, and it's got to keep being highlighted when it happens. Keep putting it to the forefront. The likes of the fucking Sun, right? Fucking back and Saka and all that. Where the fuck have you been for the last 50 years?
Yeah, exactly.
You're fucking racist cunts. Exactly, Paul. Any sort of paper that's run by those sort of cunts. Don't get me wrong. There's been good people work at these papers, right? That don't get, they don't get it.
Oh, that's it deserve. No.
Yeah.
And then even the credit as well.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is a way of trying to jump on a hype wagon from a lot of the papers as well. Like back in Saka, it's like, where were you? You look at that that news article that got released about Marcus Rashford at the start of the week, back end of last week. And then you look at the earnings he's given to help young kids and people in poverty, and You know, he
over
fed the
20
kids when the
million
government
pounds.
didn't.
Yeah, over 20 million pounds, and he did it.
Yeah,
And he
his
one
own
hell
money.
of a job to do. Yeah, his own money. And you know what? And you know, and some of those Tories MPs was criticizing him. Oh, you should stick to football and because like, where
Why?
you been helping the kids?
Why?
You're making the kids. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we can't do it. We're not in positions to do that. Marcus has lived through poverty.
Yeah, he's lived through poverty.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's lived through poverty and done that. You know, it's just every single. It's just like where do we? Yeah, where do we draw the line?
Livingston.
Well,
I think now the problem is the line's that big now.
Yeah.
it's not just big; it's widespread as well, mate.
I mean,
It's not only now you've got to respect people face to face. People need to learn how to respect people both online, in the workplace, in the school area.
There's no point
so
even
many-
trying to ask for respect online, mate.
No.
No, but
There's too many tits around.
what was the step that they wanted to try and introduce, or even discuss introducing, was having identification before you set up a social media account. I 100% agree with that. And see the people that are coming on with comments in the thread and tweets and stuff like that saying, I can't afford identification. I'm pretty sure they would get round it. Not necessarily a driving license.
Exactly.
Like a
Credit card.
for example.
Yeah.
Scott card, a fucking payment for your dole payment. Fucking scan that on. And they
Exactly.
The HMRC trace you down. There you are. That's you identified.
Yeah, your national insurance card or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, when we were at the pub last Thursday, Charlie, Jack used his young Scot card for ID, and then like if you got anything else to back this up, and he had his card with him, you know.
Aye, bank card or yeah.
He had his bank card on him. I just think the whole situation needs addressed by the government, but because we've got a racist government in Westminster, it's never going to happen. And I can't believe I'm saying this at 2021, and it feels like we're living in the 1970s with racism.
No,
And one thing I've got to say, I don't know if Charlie covered it because he was talking about Saka, but where was the man management from Southgate on giving Saka the penalty when you've got the likes of Jack Grealish and that there, who have taken penalties, massive penalties. I mean, Jack Grealish scored, after being attacked by a Birmingham fan, 2-3 years ago, scores the winner at St Andrews. There's a lad with character who's took stick his whole career, and he threw Southgate back under the bus when he got asked about it, which I love.
Hey, it was the right thing to do.
Yeah, 100%. But that's taken away from how good the Italians really were the whole tournament. Right from the word go, they were the dark horses.
Absolute
dark horses.
Talk about lines. When did we draw that line and say they're not dark horses? Because was it 33 games unbeaten?
Without a goal.
Yeah. See, the thing is, like, that Italian team was it's all Serie A players. It's not like when they won the World Cup in 2006, Cannavaro was the best defender in the world and won the Ballon d'Or and played for Real Madrid at the time.
Real Serie A, there's a couple of Serie C players as well in the fringe.
Yeah, there were.
And one of the boys moved to Juve or something from a Serie B team.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the likes of, Chiesa, Locatelli and that, they're all going to go for massive fees. I just don't see the likes of Juventus actually selling them. Why would you, Paula?
No.
You can build your whole team around
you
them.
can't. Yeah, you can't sell Chiesa. Chiesa is so huge for that. You sell him, that means, you sell him, and this is what you sell him. That you're not going to win another trophy for quite a bit again after if you don't. You might keep like Ronaldo, but Ronaldo's not going to keep going forever. So they have to. Yeah, and
he's a fucking alien.
Well, it's true.
He's a fucking alien the way him and Messi could play till they're 40 odd.
True.
Right, who's got screaming Waynes outside their?
Oh, they're my next door neighbours. They're on the trampoline.
Tell them to shut the fuck up.
I know.
It's past their fucking bedtime. It's 9 o'clock.
And it's supposed to be going back to school at the end of this week as well, too. So you better tell them to go to bed.
That's him taking full advantage, mate. If I had a trampoline that fucking size and if the kids weren't to own it, I'd show you. But my God, it'd fuck it. My garden's like just short of 20 feet, like that way. And obviously, with
I've been
line,
in your back garden.
that covers like
Yeah.
3/4 of the garden, man.
Jeez.
All right,
Those
fair
kids
enough.
are
I can
laughing.
understand.
Yeah, back to the Euros. We spoke about England enough. What about our boys?
Shite.
Yes,
Embarrassing.
right. Everyone.
Aye,
No.
rubbish.
Right, Kim, right, I think things were done wrong by, what's his puss? Alki Clark.
Fuck.
Bringing on Scott McKenna.
Yes.
He's a fucking, he's the new Gary he's the new Gary Kenneth of being a cart horse.
No.
I know fucking Andrew Sutherland rates him, but he's a fucking cart horse. 2 minutes after coming on, he fucking gets a yellow card
Malky's.
against
Saying Malky the boy.
I absolutely fucking ripped him a new one. I think Gilmore should have started. I think the damage was done after the first game.
Czech Republic. Aye. David
Yeah.
Larson shouldn't
I
have
mean,
been
you were
in the
there.
game. I was there. I paid £210 for a fucking ticket.
What? Is that how much you paid for? Fucking hell.
As you can imagine, I was a bit peeved. Tried to
I was
saw the
asking
text messages,
for money back right now, to be honest here.
Right, Kim,
I started a fucking GoFundMe. But, no,
Here,
I
if they
said
can
also
get one
enough
for
how
the
to win
fucking
Scotland in a Euro
greeting.
Championships.
Hold on. The text or some of you were fucking raging.
It's a wee bit upset. But and I also went down to London as well for the game at Wembley, but I wasn't actually in the ground. I was in a nightclub in Wembley. So like you have to go in the grounds at Wembley.
Yeah, I know.
The best thing is it's not even like a nightclub. It's actually a venue that originally does Indian weddings. So it's designed for Indian face and stuff like that, and no alcohol, etc. So it's all not bring your own booze, but the venue had to buy booze in. So literally, that you seen like the lorries now outside, they were just loading in like fuckloads of like cans of Copperbergs and fucking Coors, and I can't remember what else they, but then it's like Copper. No, what do you call it? The French beer, Kronenberg.
Kronenberg. Yeah, did no tenants there? Any tenants for you lot down there as well in that place?
No, that I noticed anyway. I've seen a couple of bottles of tonic, but
No.
No. Highlight of my trip, I will tell you something though. A wee happy story. Also bordering the lines of mixing the races up, and is that even the right term? Like people just being people and enjoying company regardless of creed, colour, religion, etc. Literally bumped into two boys who were locals where we were staying in Chiswick. That's like the other side of where.
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you were staying in proper like shithole. Was that
LDN, mate? Fucking big fucking LDN. But aye, and then on the way back through the subway or the underground, there's like a
underground. You fucking idiot.
I don't think what
underground. You fucking idiot. It's no fucking New York.
Yeah,
Glasgow.
Subway, mate, I'll have you know.
Or Glasgow.
Fucking Edinburgh. Anyway, right. Aye, so came out the underground and then the overground. But aye, and then there's like I don't think you can even label it a convenience store. It's literally just a store that does everything, right? And it's owned by these two Indian guys, right? So obviously they've got their Indian foods like your samosas and your curries and stuff like that, all ready to go, literally at the front of the shop, right? I was half cut, right? Well, I was fully cut, but we'll get into that, right? Walked in, right, and I was like, "Oh!" And the guy was like, "Oh!" Getting, like, Mood Scotland, right?
Oh no!
And then I seen the beer section, so I went straight to the beer section. I was like, "Right, a wee Tisky, a wee Polish beer, right?" So I picked it up, and it's obviously the bottles like that.
Yeah.
So I grabbed one of them, and it was like $2.50, and I was like, fucking bargain in London, like straight in with that in my basket. Old Pat I just picked up there. But anyway, went to the counter and I was like, right, mate, what food have you got? And he just done the typical London thing and just went, look at it. He opened up the like the shutter, the door, and it just went. And I swear to God, it was a waft of like spices and herbs and mate. I felt like greeting. I was like, "It's the best night of my life." But generally, it gave me a lamb samosa, and I went to pay for it. He went, "No, first one free." And I was like, "Fucking at it, man." And my mate Ross, like, cause Andy said him on the show, obviously, and we were looking at each other, and he was like, "Right, now you buy this one." They whacked it like the big one. He gave me a wee to try, obviously. They whacked it the big thing, big massive samosa thing like that. And he was like £4.50. I was like, bargain. And he was like, do you want a side with it? I was like, a side? Give me a fucking side. So he whacked it these 5 spring rolls, right? And I swear to God, I thought, spring roll, Ken, spring roll. No. Spring rolls.
No.
Oh, mate. Oh, yeah. And he gave me vegetable. He gave me lamb, chicken, beef, and I think it was like a vegan replacement one, but he just mixed and matched basically. And he was like,
I know which one.
he was like, call it a fiver. And me and Ross are walking home, bags away up here, like so uneven, it's unreal. So you've got like the food like hanging out one bag, wafting away, steam coming off it because it's like freshly made. One bag in the other hand, and it's like 2 bottles of Tisky, like oil the gaff. So I'm clanking on each other, glass everywhere, sauce is spilling out the bag. Looking absolutely, wavy, so wavy. But me and Ross back in our couch, man. But it was a class trip. Also to finish that off, the food was dino. Scanned that down, finished that in my hotel. Good night, Vienna, as they say. But no, the whole experience of that trip down in London, obviously completely different from the one in 2017. COVID wasn't a thing then. Everybody was mingling in. Nobody was paranoid about getting XYZ.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah. Thank you for you, Scott's cleaning up most of the London as well, because you lot pick up the litter as well. Like, what? When did Scotland do this? Sort of like, wow, okay. Yeah.
But that's the thing, they did it in 2006. They do it quite a lot. It's the Tartnami Sunshine Appeal. They're a local charity, like a Scottish charity, registered charity. Okay. And every time they go to a away trip, for example, they'll pick a local charity and they'll raise funds for it. So in London, I want to say it's a place in Fulham. It was like a kids sanctuary, not a sanctuary, a kids like a youth centre. I think it was like a
youth centre. Yeah.
I think so, and they raised like $3,500 for it.
Oh wow, cool.
They just give it a bucket, or you can donate it through the PayPal and stuff like that. But yeah, they do that everywhere they go. Portugal, the raise was at $22,500 for a housing association in Portugal, and that was just in the pubs and the clubs.
That's cool.
So yeah, definitely, man. But yeah, you were saying about the England fans having a minority. I don't think I can have any more proof that it's a minority than that trip there. The amount of people that we spoke to that were from all over England. I spoke to Geordie, spoke to a guy from Derby, who was actually lost in the tube, and he was like, guys, where did I go for? I can't remember where it. I want to say it was like Bethnal Green or something like that, right? Like, where do you go for Bethnal Green or whatever? And I goes,
Bandit country.
Are you fucking serious, mate? Look at us, like, we're working wearing kilts. We're not over here, mate. Fucking no idea. And he was like, right, Scots, I'll come with you guys. And he just felt like he's about, man. And he just came into the pubs. He just like, yeah. And then we lost him. I have no idea where he went, but he must have been best. But that was a good example of that. Also, on the actual underground, I almost said Subway again. But on the underground, there was a couple of boys, giving a bit of banter back and forth. I mean, it started to get a bit heated because one of our mates, as per usual, decided to go, oh, so what do you think of Scottish independence? I'm like, what the fucking worst thing you could have said in a tube in London? Right. Especially when the next stop was Westminster. It must have just jogged in his mind. But, oh, Westminster, what can I talk about now? I don't know what to talk about. I mean, yes, I'm a big advocate for Scottish independence, but no in the middle of fucking London on a subway. No. When there's nowhere to go. Step out the back carriage and end it. That's like the fucking only way you're getting. But
It's like it turned into a scene for Rise of the Foot Soldier when they're trying to get off the tube, and he gets a hammer right in the middle of his head.
It couldn't have ended better, to be honest, because the guy just says, "I hope you fuck off." So I was like, yeah, "I'll take that. I'd definitely take that. I'd take his fucking off." But no, it was good, and even going to we went to what do you call it? Square, Trafalgar Square.
Leicester Square. Yeah.
And Leicester Square, sorry. I didn't actually go in Leicester Square because I'm not daft, because the police were fucking rounding the place up.
Exactly,
so,
yeah.
We walked off to a place maybe 5 or 10 streets away from there and got a taxi home, went back to the same place again, the Indian place, for the scan of the fucking lifetime. Absolute bargain. But no, it was a decent trip. I spoke to Go Radio the night before the game. In fact, no, the night of the game. No, was it? No, the Thursday night, sorry. The Thursday night. I spoke to Go Radio and I spoke to Rob McLean, Leanne, what's her name? Girl that played for Scotland. I can't remember her name, pal. Spoke to that Leanne girl, and of all people, Craig Moore, that used to be the centre half for Rangers, Australian boy.
Oh,
him.
Aye, and
used to play for Newcastle.
Did he?
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah,
it was
I
Newcastle.
thought he played for Rangers over here. I thought he fucked off back to Australia or something. But
Nah,
clearly
played
not.
for Rangers
But,
and went down south, went to Australia.
I know Jalan Boomsong that played for Rangers played for Newcastle, but
Craig Moore went at the same time.
all right, fair play. But I had a good half an hour chat with him while I was drinking my Camden Hills, which by the way is a beautiful lager. Anyway,
Beautiful lager.
Oh, it's beautiful, mate. Beautiful. But I just spoke piss to him for half an hour.
Fuck's sake.
And then we went to the Tam Cowan. Tam Cowan. Went to his party at the other side of London, which is in Camden. So that was an experience.
Camden's ace, man.
Camden's fucking popular, but it's fucking ace.
Yeah, big LDN.
Camden's
standing outside with the balaclavas and that. Balaclavas, no balaclavas. The bandanas and that. Yo, blood, yay!
Arsenal
guy was like,
Arsenal fan TV.
But one of the guys was like, how that last time I went in 2017, he was like, what's on the OK blood? And I was like, what do you think? And he was like, yeah. But this guy came up and he was like, you need whiskey? And I was like, no. And he's like, disappointed. And he walked away. I was like my funny moment. But no, because my mate had a wee flask, but we run it. So, aye. Aye, that was class. That was we were told no dancing, no singing. They was well tell us no drinking. Do you know what I mean? Because we went into this wee party, and I swear to God, it just became an absolute sesh. To the point that the tunes were on full crank. Loch Lomond was getting belted. Caledonia, all the typical Scotland songs. Can you shove your granny off a bus and all this, man? Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And it just felt like normal times again, which obviously hit us hard because I ended up getting COVID and I was fucked for 14 days. I could barely speak. I could barely
fuck.
I was in bad ways. And I was meant to get my second vaccine that weekend that I came back. So I was back and then I isolated for the 7 days. Then I hit the 26th and I was like, I can't get my vaccine because I'm fucked. And then I had to isolate again a further 7 days so my ma had it. And then just absolute farce, man. But again, it was bound to happen. In hindsight, you don't think of these things. You think football, Scotland versus England, European Championship. You don't think it. Especially when you've been doing football
100%.
to return in such a big game.
It's true.
It's
true.
It's that football factory saying, was it worth it? Of course it fucking was.
Loads. Absolutely.
Right.
One thing I will say though,
Right.
fucking Lara Wolf, she's took full advantage. She is not a Scotland fan. She's a fucking big busty.
Can we know, we didn't mention Minx on the podcast, mate. We mention enough and we mention Hearts and Rangers.
Aye,
Right.
Scotland fans, They're incredible, brilliant. And the rest of the fans and all that were there. We bumped into like Croatians and stuff like that. They were sounding too. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Right, I've missed half of this. Well, 3/4 of it, because my stream has been an absolute knob. I'm going to bring this to a close because I've still got a shower and get ready for my work tomorrow. Probably should have done that when the stream isn't working, but
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, like I said,
you go, man.
it's good to be back anyway. It's been a while. We needed this.
It's fucking 8 weeks, man. 8 long weeks. Charlie, thanks for coming on, man, as always.
You're welcome, mate. Thanks for having me back on.
Anytime. PC, thanks again, mate. You're tremendous for your stories, man. You drag these podcasts out so well.
You do. Give you that.
I do a Zoom meeting on a Wednesday night for a mental health charity, and I'm the exact same. Yeah.
Carl, it's a pleasure to always do this with you.
Yeah, you know, mate. You know that, mate. Oh, yeah.
Right. We'll be back next week. Round up the Scottish football, round up the Europa League fixtures, and we'll see you next week. Thanks again, boys.
Cheers, lads.
Cheers.
Take care.
All right.